Good evening, guys, and happy Thursday to all of your sunshiny faces. Well, guys, originally I wanted to grill for dinner tomorrow, and now it looks like it's not going to be that warm. Like, it's going to be warmer than it was today, and then it has been the last, 2 days or whatever it was, except for when we were in, 70-degree days on Tuesday or whatever it was. So yeah, it was yesterday, it was really cold. Today it's cold again. Tomorrow is supposed to be warmer, but not like that warm. Now it looks like it's like pushed back a little bit, because originally I thought it was supposed to be like Friday, Saturday. Now I think it's Saturday and Sunday where it's supposed to be like 60s almost, and then it's supposed to like stay like 50s for an average, I think, through like the rest of the week. Like, there'll be a few days where it's going to be like 40s, but then a few days where it'll be like 50s, which again too is not too bad. We're staying above, snowing weather, like more than likely that we won't get snow when it's like, kind of that temperature, but that's, I guess, nice. I'm just expecting it though, because like today's the last day of February. I'm like, normally it's still cold in March and it'll still snow and like that kind of stuff. So the fact that I'm like, could this really be like spring is actually coming? But again too, it's like so weird. Then like we'll have like, it'll be like 60s like as an average in like June or something like that. Like, we won't get any like 70-degree weather or like 80s or anything like that. It'll be like still really cold. So I remember the year we got our fence put in, I think we had it put in June, and I remember it did not get warm at all that summer. Like, it took, well, I mean it did, but like I remember it just being like really the day they put the fence in too. I think it was like the end of June or something like that, maybe. I don't exactly remember, but I remember being like, it's so like, it's summer started already, and yet like we still hadn't had like one day where it was like 80 degrees yet. And the day they put the fence in was like 60 and rainy, and it was like cloudy, and it was like freezing cold that day. So it must have actually, like, it wasn't horribly rainy. I remember it was like a little bit, but it must have actually kind of been somewhat nice for them putting the fence in, because it wasn't like an 80-degree day. But I remember thinking like, oh, it's gonna be like one of those like, again, really hot summers kind of thing, and it just never turned into that. I think maybe it did eventually, sort of like July, August, but it was like, felt very short, just because like we didn't get that like early like summer, whereas like we have summer now, which is weird, and then it's gonna be, like, I'm scared that's what's gonna happen again. So like I said, I just like for things to be like consistent and not like this kind of, because again too, I'm like, that's really weird. Like, I mean, we did have some snow like over the winter, but I felt like we just had a very short winter. And again too, I'm not complaining, because I'm not the type of person that loves snow or loves the cold or anything like that, but it just kind of messes with you when your like climate and yet it's not responding the way it should be responding to like the seasons and stuff like that. Because no, we definitely should not be having 60-degree weather right now. Again too, for the beginning of March, like 50 degrees is gonna be weird. So anyways though, one thing that I need to do, guys, I need to get a little bit back on track, sort of. I feel like because we've just had like other stuff going on, and like there's just like, again, two things we've been having to get to, and again too, while I'm doing those pictures and stuff like that, I've been removed, I guess, from my bedroom now, and like I'm watching like the sports games out in the living room instead of like editing in my room and like watching the games and stuff like that. And so I just feel like I need to get myself on sort of a better schedule, because I haven't really updated my planner much. And I will say though, ever since I like cleaned my room and reorganized everything back in like, December and early January, I've stayed on top of pretty much everything. I do have a basket of laundry, which my weighted blanket's actually in there, and it's just heavy. I don't want to move it out, but there's clothes underneath it that I need to put away, and so that's kind of why I haven't put it away yet. But other than that, I've been really good. Like, I haven't like left things out or like let things get too dirty. I say that, and I have a bunch of receipts though that are on my desk that I actually think I don't need. So I have like, again, some stuff that like, I can kind of go through, but for the most part I've kept my room pretty clean and pretty organized, and like there's not stuff in my room that's like, again too, in places where like I need to take care of stuff, or I just have like a pile of something I'm like, I'll get to this later. I haven't really done that yet. So I will say that for the most part, since January or whatever, when I kind of reorganized everything in my room and purged a lot of stuff and went through my closet and everything, I have stayed for the most part pretty on top of the clutter and stuff like that. And I haven't let anything get too out of hand. It's been about 2 months or so now, so I'd say, like I said, that's pretty good for me, I guess. I don't know, it's weird when I get to like doing that. Normally I'm really good for like a while, and then all of a sudden it's just like, what happened to my room? Like, you know, it just turns into a disaster. And I feel like sometimes it's like slowly or very suddenly it will happen. Like again too, like the clothes are just kind of sitting in here, like that's more of a slow progression. Sometimes too it's like suddenly, where my mom's like, oh, I got you all this stuff, and I'm like, I have nowhere to put it, you know, something like that. Or it's like a holiday or Christmas comes along and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this stuff, and then that's when it gets really out of hand. But again too, like I took care of all my Christmas stuff, so like there's no extra things that aren't in spaces where they don't belong. Like whereas like last year, my Christmas stuff that I got for Christmas, some of this stuff was sitting out for a very long time. Like I'd use it, but I just didn't have anywhere to put it, so I just put it back in the pile of stuff that I had. It was not very good because it didn't belong there, and so I just had like things in places. And now that, like I said, my room is clean, it just makes it a lot nicer, a lot better to deal with and all that kind of stuff. So like I said, that overall, like I haven't had an event like that happen where it's just like piled up, but I'm starting to see like if I don't get some of this stuff taken care of, it's gonna progress more. So I do need to stay on top of things a little bit. But again too, it's just like my scheduling just feels off to me. So I've been trying to like plan when I'm taking care of the photos and like organizing them and stuff like that around like sports schedule stuff that's going on. So like I watch a sports game out in the living room and then go through the photos and stuff like that, and it's been overall working pretty well so far. And again too, I spent some time today doing that, but at the same time too, it's like because of that now I have to figure out other times too when like I get to editing, because normally a lot of times I'll do that when I'm watching like a sports game or whatever. So I'm trying to manage my time differently, which like today and yesterday I actually felt like worked out really well. But I feel like again too, this week I'm getting more of a schedule down a little bit, if that makes sense, where I'm not like, because my thing is that I just can't sit and do one thing like all day. Like if it was like, oh, just sit and edit all day, like I can't do that. I can't sit and just go through pictures all day long. I can't. I need to like do a little bit of things every single day, because if not, I'm like, my brain hurts. Like I'll get a headache, and I just, you know, like my focus is gone too because of it. So you know, like because I can't focus on something if I've been working on it all day. And then too, like the I don't want to say the effort, but I guess like the attention to detail and like my work performance on whatever I'm kind of doing will tend to sort of decline a little bit if I'm doing, you know, something for too long and like one period of time. Like again too, I could sit there and do something for like 2 or 3 hours and work really well, but then by that like 4th, 5th hour, I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I need a break. I have a headache. I've got, you know, it's the same thing too, like editing. Like if I'm doing that, I have to be doing something else. Like I have to be able to look up and watch, you know, like a sports game at the same time or something like that. Like I'll stop for a little bit and then get back to it, you know. But like I said, I can't work like for that long straight. So I've been trying to find, you know, kind of that like happy medium. And again, today worked out pretty well. Yesterday did too. But I feel like too, maybe if I had a schedule of like the stuff that I also need to get done would maybe be a little bit better. But yeah, either way, I've been productive, but I feel like again too, it's just, I don't feel like I've been as productive as I could be because I haven't been writing things down. So where I'm like, oh, I think I got to everything today. I'm like, but did I really? Like, I know I did dishes today. I know I edited and uploaded today. I did go through pictures, but like when I go back and think about it, I'm like, yeah, I did. But I'm like, did I get to everything that I wanted to? Like, you know, just because I don't have a checklist of stuff to make sure that I get done. And also too, making sure that I know like, oh, I have to remember to finish this grocery list so we can go to the store. I have to make sure that I finish doing this thing because again too, like, you know, we have timelines, you know, for certain stuff that has to get done or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I forgot to do that, you know, because I was focused on doing something else. I feel like although I've been productive, I don't know how productive or if I could be better productive or, you know, like I said, really what it is. But I feel like if I have a checklist and planner, if I start using that, I'll actually be a little bit better with stuff. So hopefully maybe even tomorrow I can kind of set that up for like next week so that I can try and focus on that. And I can also check in with my aunt since we're supposed to go over to her house on Saturday to go pick up those couches, kind of check in with her on like the photo stuff as well, and you know, how everything's sort of working out. I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.